The SI unit of thrust is Newton, which is denoted as N, and the unit of pressure is Newton per square meter or Newton meter square inverse. Okay, so which is denoted as Newton per meter square. So this was discovered by a French scientist called Blaise Pascal. So honoring them, so what they did was 1 Newton per square meter. 1 Newton per square meter was equal to 1 Pascal. So 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square is always denoted as this. Okay. Next, we are moving on to pressure in fluids. So we all know anything which is having a flowing tendency, we call it as fluids. So like solids, fluids also, they have some weight and therefore they exert a pressure. So when you fill a container with water, the pressure of the fluid is exerted in all the direction. Yes or no? Can you see all the direction the pressure is exerted inside the container? Because the molecules are in a constant rapid motion. The molecules, for example, water means the water molecules will be like hydrogen and oxygen of water will be in constant rapid motion, which makes the particles to move equally in all the direction. Therefore the pressure will be exerted by the fluid in all the direction. So which was given by, so fluid can exert pressure in all the direction. So fluid pressure is equal to total force exerted by the fluid divided by area over which the force is exerted, which is equal to F by A. Now let us understand pressure due to fluids. So how this pressure is going to produce due to fluids. So first, when you immerse a solid object, so first when you, this we are going to see for solid, liquid, gas. What happens when you immerse a solid object, liquid object and a gaseous object inside a liquid? Okay, so first when you immerse a solid object inside a liquid, what happens is the pressure of a liquid on a body submerged, which means the pressure of this solid object will be on the walls of the container, which is perpendicular to the surface. So this is the surface. The pressure will be exerted in the walls of the container. So when you take a solid and when you immerse inside the liquid, then the pressure will be exerted in the walls of the surface. The same when you try to immerse a air filled balloon, it will try to come out, it will try to come up, it will not sink inside, the balloon will not sink inside. This means that, this shows that what, water exert pressure in upward direction. Okay, water exerts pressure in upward direction here. And what are all the directions we are seeing? Next is similarly when you take a water bottle, and you have a holes, when you pierce the water bottle, what happens? The water bottle having a water pierced, it will start to come out with the speed depending upon what? The amount of liquid. If the amount of liquid is less, then the force of the liquid will be slow. So this shows that liquid exert lateral pressure on the walls of the container. Lateral pressure means on the sideways. So from this you can see the liquid can exert pressure in all the direction. When you immerse a solid object, it will be exerting in the walls of the container. When you take a balloon filled with air, it will come upwards. Then when you take a water bottle which is pierced, it will be on the sideways in the lateral side. Next we have is factors determining liquid pressure in liquids. So here we have three factors. One is depth, which means the height. Next is density of the liquid, which is the thickness of the liquid. Then finally acceleration due to gravity. First is depth. So we have to take a large plastic can and you have to punch holes with a nail in a vertical line on the side of the can, like it is shown here. You have to punch hole 1, 2, 3 from top to bottom, and then you have to fill with the water. The can should be filled with water. Now what happens? The water may just comes out from the top of the hole, but the speed increases at the bottom hole as the depth causes the water to spurt out with more pressure. So when the height increases, the force also will be increasing. So you can see here, the first one, it is not coming with full force. Second one is comparatively greater than the first one. Last one, it is coming out with the full force, which means the height is the difference here. The depth increases. So therefore the pressure varies as the depth increases. Next, if you see, you have to take two liquids with different densities. For example, you say you are taking water and oil of same level in a plastic container. You have to make a hole, only one hole, the same level. Equally you have to make it for both the cans. Now what do you see here? You can see water is coming out with the more pressure than the oil, which indicates the pressure also depends on the density. Next is pressure due to a liquid column. For this, you have to take a tall beaker which is filled with liquid so that it forms a liquid column. So like this, you have to take a liquid in a beaker in a tall liquid. So if it is tall, means it will form a liquid column. Okay. Then the density of the cross section area of the bottom. So this bottom part, it's A, and the density is given as rho. What it is? Rho. The symbol rho, it is always written as like this. This is the symbol rho, density. Okay. The height of the liquid is given as h. So you can see here the height is given as h. And then, in other words, the depth of the water from the top level surface, it is given here as shown in the figure for you. Now we are going to identify. Now we know that thrust at the bottom of the column. Thrust at the bottom of the column is equal to weight of the liquid. So all the weight will be at the bottom only, no? So thrust F, we are giving it as weight of the column. Therefore F is equal to M into G. So like we are having, no, F is equal to MA. So here this is due to the gravity. So we are learning the third factor, that is acceleration due to gravity. So we are writing it as F is equal to mg, mass and gravity. So we can get the mass of the liquid by multiplying the volume of the liquid. Okay. Now what you have to do is mass m is equal to rho into V. So volume of the liquid V is equal to area of the cross section area into height, which is equal to AH. So we have got three equations. One is F is equal to mg, other one is m is equal to rho into V, and V is equal to AH. Now substituting 3 in 2. So what is our 3 equation? Equation 3 is AH, which means V. We are having the V value. We are having the V here. We are going to substitute the value of V is equal to AH in this equation. So when you substitute M is equal to rho AH. Now substitute the value of M in equation 1. Equation 1 has M, no? We have identified the value of M here. Substitute the value of M in 1. When you do it, you will get force is equal to mg. In the place of M, you have to put it as rho AH into this G will come as it is. Now pressure is equal to thrust by area, which is mg by A. Okay. Now mg by A means, what is the value of mg we have derived and kept here? Rho AH G by A. So this A and A will get cancelled. You will get it as rho Hg. So pressure due to a liquid column is equal to rho Hg. Okay, so this expression, what it is showing means, it is showing that the pressure in a liquid column is determined by depth, density of the liquid, and acceleration due to gravity. So this equation is a combination of H is your depth, rho is your density, G is acceleration due to gravity. So it is combination of all. Okay, so this equation shows that the pressure of a liquid should be measured with all these factors. Okay. Next, we are moving on to the atmospheric pressure. So what does this atmospheric pressure mean? So we all know Earth is surrounded by a layer of air up to certain height, nearly from here to 300 kilometers, and this layer is surrounded by air. which we call it as atmosphere, and it has some pressure, we call it as atmospheric pressure. So the atmospheric pressure, it is always referred to the sea level. From the sea level only we will calculate. We will not go deep into the earth. We will be calculating from the sea level only. So if you can see the figure here, so as you move upwards, the air particles, the particles here, they are becoming thinner, because the thinner means what? The number of air molecules, they are becoming less as you go high. So as you move, increase the height, as you move up, the pressure will be decreasing. So the atmospheric pressure decreases as we go up in mountains. So on the other hand, what happens when you go deep into the sea level, like mines or under the sea, the pressure will be very, very high. So you have to remember, as you go up, the pressure decreases. As you go down into below the sea level, the pressure will be increasing. Okay, so you can see here, the person who's standing below will experience more pressure, because the pressure will be more as you go down. As you move up, the pressure decreases. Okay, so the person who's at the top will feel very less weight. Next, we are moving on to the measurement of atmospheric pressure. So how to measure this atmospheric pressure?